What is up, Packer fans? Back again. Here we are, week 16. Only 3 weeks to go. The Packers need to win out now that they lost back-to-back games. One to Tommy DeVito, who got put back in check this week against the Saints. They really held the Giants to like 6 points. So back to reality for the Giants and Tommy DeVito. Then the Packers lose to Baker Mayfield, who I do like. I've always kind of been a Baker Mayfield fan. I've always kind of supported Baker. First round pick. He bopped around to a lot of teams. I think 4 teams in the last 5 years. Kind of found a home now with the Buccaneers. First quarterback besides Aaron Rodgers in NFL history to have a perfect rating, 158.3 at Lambeau Field. First visiting quarterback ever. He had 4 touchdowns, over 380 yards passing. What a day for Baker. It seemed like every throw we tried to defend of his, we were just like a split second late. Like the ball would go like that, like right over our hands. Like so many. It seemed all those like slant routes in the seam. Really tough to watch. A lot of missed opportunities. Jordan Love actually played really, really well. That throw to Jaden Reed for the touchdown was pretty amazing. I liked what they did on the first drive, getting Tucker Kraft the ball, getting into the end zone. It just seemed like they were kind of always behind the Buccaneers, kept trying to catch up, kept shooting themselves in the foot. Just little mistakes, and they couldn't stop the Buccaneers. I think after one of the first drives or so, the Buccaneers pretty much scored on every drive. And so that's not a way to win. Obviously, Joe Barry is going to need to get a little bit of a look. I know a lot of people call for his job. Every week it's up and down. You know, we won a few games, so they kind of left him alone. Now they're all on him again. But giving up a perfect rating to Baker Mayfield at Lambeau is almost inexcusable. And the fact that LaFleur is keeping him is tough. I know there's only 3 games to go, so it's kind of not the right time. But Philly, I think, they just changed their defensive coordinator. So I don't know what the Packers are doing. If they really want to win, they need to make a change. They have like 7 first-round picks on that defense. There's no reason why they shouldn't be better. Jair now pretty much doesn't want to play for the Packers if Joe Barry's the coach. That's kind of what he's doing with his social media. I think that's kind of the message he's sending. He's sick of this scheme and how Joe Barry uses the guys the Packers have, because we have the talent. They just are put in positions where they're out of position. So I mean, 10 yards back on every third down and 6, like, it doesn't make any sense. So, Packers need to figure something out. I get it. There's only 3 weeks to go, so a change right now would be tough. But if the Packers don't win out, they're going to have to make a change for sure going into the next year. And if they don't, LaFleur is going to have to get a look at, because it's not about just keeping your buddies around. You got to win football games. And this team is good enough. This team was good enough. We should have beat the Giants. We easily could have been way more competitive against the Buccaneers. Yes, they're leading their division, so maybe they're a little bit better than we think. But Baker should not have had a perfect day against us at Lambeau. So now we go to Carolina, another NFC South opponent. Bryce Young and the Panthers are coming off a win last week, so we're going to have to play our best ball because they're seemingly playing their best ball at this point. They only had won one other game this year, and now they won their second. Bryce Young's pretty good. They got Chuba Hubbard. They got Miles Sanders. They got Adam Thielen. They got Mingo. They got DJ Chark. Who else? They got Trimble at tight end. Then on the defensive side of the ball, Von Bell, J.C. Horn, Brian Burns, who I do like a lot, Luvu, the linebacker, Frankie Luvu. So there's a decent amount of talent on this Panthers squad. Obviously, they don't have a lot of firepower on offense, and Bryce Young has struggled. He's undersized. I thought that he was probably not the best first-round pick. I liked C.J. Stroud way more coming out, but Bryce Young, Alabama, he played really well, all these things, Heisman Trophy, so he's basically the reason why the Panthers have won 2 games this year. Otherwise, they'd be really stuck if they had a different quarterback. They probably wouldn't have won any, but you can see some of the talent there, but he just seems so undersized. So hopefully the Packers can get after him. This is a game where the Packers need a rebound. Like I said, they need to win out. They've got the Panthers this week. They got the Vikings at Minnesota. And then we have the Bears at Lambeau. So that's huge. We need to be able to win these games like we went down to Soldier Field week 1 and beat them. they're playing their best ball now too. Chicago, Minnesota, everybody's trying to get in the mix. Then the NFC South has a bunch of teams that are pretty much tied at like the Packers record are right around there. So it's really going to get close. Packers just have to do what they need to do, which is win this game against the Panthers, a team that has struggled this year, a team that they probably can beat. I really think that Aaron Jones, he's healthy. I know A.J. Dillon broke his finger. It's going to be tough for him to be back this week. Maybe they can figure out a way for him to play a little bit. Kenyon Drake did get a carry last week, and he basically almost fumbled it. He had to get it from behind the back. It was kind of crazy. It was nuts. So luckily he saved himself, but we need the running backs to do more. Aaron Jones looked amazing on that first drive. Almost 50 yards on the ground, and then they just like stopped giving him the ball. I don't know if it's, I mean, if you're worried about his health, like don't feed him so much right away. Like let him kind of work into it throughout the whole game. I don't get getting him warmed up and then just shutting him down. That doesn't make any sense to me. Weird game plan there with Aaron Jones. I want to see him be more of a part of the offense throughout the whole game. And then obviously Jaden Reed's playing great. Dontavian Wicks over 90 yards. What a game for Wicks. This guy, like a late round pick out of Virginia, a guy kind of undersized, the guy that a lot of people overlooked probably. So what a pickup by him from Goody. Jaden Reed's playing out of his mind. Dobbs really played well. He went up against Antoine Winfield. Still had like 3 catches for 30 yards. Really a good route runner. But yeah, Winfield's just tough. Obviously, that's why Wicks and Reed got the ball a lot. And then, Heath playing good as well. So a lot of young talent. It's really exciting. Tucker Kraft got in the end zone again. He's exciting to watch. This offensive line's playing great. Rasheed Walker, the highest graded player on the Packers this week. That's something to be said. As a late round pick last year out of Penn State, playing left tackle. What a story for him. A lot of ups and downs, and people were like, "Let's get him out of here." And last year he didn't even really suit up. I don't think he even was on the active roster at all for the whole season. Comes in this year, a whole new player, and now he is holding his own on the left side. So what a story there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we had 5 sacks. 5 sacks against Baker, and he still just didn't matter, just slinging it. And we had like 3rd and longs, so just slinging it. But our defense is playing good. I know Jair's probably not going to play anymore this season. Packers are going to either have to trade him or figure out what his issue is. If it is Barry, they're going to have to make a choice. Maybe they do get rid of Barry. But, hey, if we get rid of Alexander, that's $20 million. And then we free up the cap money from like Bach and Rodgers. And so there's a lot of money here. So we'll see what happens. I like the young talent at corner. I know we got burned, but I feel like that's more of a scheme issue rather than a player issue. I like Valentine. Valentine did get beat. Maybe, we need to improve Valentine a little bit. But Stokes hopefully can get going, and then Nixon. So if Jair does leave, it's going to suck because I do like Jair a lot. But if he doesn't want to be here, that's on him. So otherwise, guys are playing really well in the back end. I know Campbell has said he didn't want to play injured anymore. So I think guys are getting frustrated with losing in this manner with the scheme that they have because they feel like they have the talent and the guys and the offense didn't make any mistakes. So the defense literally let them down completely and gave up way too many yards on the ground and through the air. It was just a mess. So for the Packers to win this week against the Panthers, they need to step up. They need to get after Bryce Young. I think they will be able to do that. Panthers do have a better defense, I think, than offense, but their offense, struggles to score points. And if the Packers can get after Bryce Young and stop the run, which is probably going to be the focal point of the Panthers' offense, use Chuba Hubbard, use Miles Sanders, run the football, see what they can do there because the Packers have struggled against the run. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see the Packers get back in the win column. They pretty much need to win out and get a little bit of help. Obviously, winning out means beating the Vikings and beating the Bears, which basically takes care of those 2 teams in the race for the playoffs. And then the other teams in the NFC South and other divisions need to kind of, the Eagles, I don't think the Eagles division is really an issue. And then the NFC West, I think it's pretty much cleared up too. So, the Seahawks, I think, could get in there. But there's seven playoff spots this year, like there has been. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting ride. Packers just need to do their job, which is win out. They know that, but one game at a time. They're winnable games, against teams that they can beat. But the last 2 were winnable games. Everybody thought they were going to win out completely. So Go Pack Go. Let's see what they can do. See you guys next time. Peace out.